Yes, good morning, everyone. I hope you are able to hear me and you are able to watch my screen. So, yesterday we have talked about what is ERP, what are different domains we find in ERP applications, who are the competitors, what is Oracle applications, and how we get projects, and how the client is going to get the ERP application. And then we see the different customers and different Oracle partners, and if they get project, we find different roles and responsibilities. We discuss DBA role, functional and technical consultant role. Okay. So any doubts here? Anybody would like to talk with me? Yesterday video, it's there in our YouTube channel. You can find and three demos, both three demos we are going to put it here. Today I'm going to have one assignment in the real time similar assignments we will be getting, as well as in the interviews also they will be asking us. Okay, so we are going to do that assignment here. So before we start the assignment, any doubts here, please? So we would like to create a supplier here. We want to create a supplier. Every company will maintain the supplier details. Even we also maintain supplier data in our mobile, right? Electricians details, plumber details, okay, transportation details, okay. Like that, we will maintain the people who provide some goods or services to us. We are going to maintain their phone number, address, email ID. The same thing, the companies, whenever they are running the business, definitely they have to maintain the supplier information. We are going to see how to create a supplier. And what are the supplier tables? Which tables the supplier information stores? Okay. How we have to join those tables? Join conditions. Okay. And then we are going to write a program, simple program we are going to develop, PLSQL program. Okay. So in our training, we train you right from the basics of SQL and PLSQL. Don't worry about that. So if you have some basic idea about SQL, that's fine. I'll show you one YouTube channel, which is very good. Just 1.5 hour class is there regarding SQL. If you complete that 1.5 hour, then it's fine. You can start working. Okay. End of the session, I'll show you that YouTube channel. Okay. So this is the task we are going to do. One is create a supplier and identify the tables and how to join those tables. And then we are going to develop one PLSQL program. The purpose of this program is we wanted to get total suppliers, how many suppliers we have, total invoices created for that suppliers, total invoice amount, and average invoice amount. This information is required. Client is looking for this result. Okay. So this is the assignment we are going to do. If you are able to understand this assignment, then you can easily understand this course. So many people will have some doubts. You are telling that this is a coding SQL and PLSQL is required, whether I am able to survive or not, whether I am able to understand or not. So what type of work will be there in the real time? So if you are able to understand this session, then you can do that. We also do another assignment tomorrow session. So it will be clear practically also. Okay. Yes. Now let's connect to the server. First, we will go for completion of supplier creation. We'll go for creation of supplier. Let me connect to the server. Connect to applications. Login. with operations user, which user has logged into the application's operations. First, open any one of the page, no problem. Now I want to create a supplier. Let's go to the responsibility, purchasing. Purchasing responsibility is used for creation of all procurement details. Like we are going to create purchasing suppliers and other details. We are going to do that here. It is. Let's go to supply base. This menu is used to manage the supplier information. It is used to manage the supplier information. Go to suppliers, open the page. Now I am able to see this supplier page here. There is a button create supplier. It looks like someone customized this page. That's why we are getting some links. It is. Otherwise, we don't find this all details here actually. So we'll directly get this button in the top of this. Okay. So now create supplier. This is the page where we are going to create suppliers here. And now I'm creating the supplier name here. Gensar Technologies Private Limited. Click apply button. Now supplier we have created successfully here. This is supplier number generated by the system. We maintain the complete supplier information here. Supplier address, nothing but supplier sites, contact information, business, and what are the products and services this supplier will provide, supplier banking details. Because once you purchase some goods or service, you have to make the payment, right? You have to transfer the amount to them. When we have thousands of suppliers, it's very difficult to manage, right? That's why we use this application where we are going to have terms and conditions, payment details, purchasing rules and regulations, receiving payment relationship, invoice management. This is all we are going to do it. Okay. Now this is creating the supplier from the front end. Now if we look at in the back end database table point of view, I would like to see the supplier details in the table. Front end you created and saved means definitely it will be saved in the database table. This is a standard table, AP underscore suppliers. You work for any client, the tables are same, no change. Data will be different. Whatever the supplier names your client created, that we will find. Where vendor name equal to or vendor name like. Maybe you are not clear the complete vendor name. Then you can search like this. This is the vendor name, means supplier name we created. Gensar Technologies Private Limited. Supplier number 24. Supplier number is 24. This is primary key. Internally, this is primary key, vendor ID. And created on 20th January 2026. This is. And primary key is here. Vendor ID is the primary key. In case if you are going to join this table with any other table, this is the primary key we are supposed to use. Okay. So we created supplier in the front end and we have seen which table. AP underscore suppliers. Like this, we find around 40 tables. There are some hundreds of tables in Oracle applications, but we don't need to remember all these hundreds of tables. We have around 40 tables. This 40 tables must be on our fingertips. Out of 40, already we are working now in this table. Last class, we have seen one table, F&D underscore user. Right. So these tables must be on our fingertips. These tables only they'll ask us in the interview. Tell me what are supplier tables? What are customer tables? Can I join the customer and sales order table? How to join? For example, I give you the purchase order number, I want to know what is the invoice number for that purchase order. Or I would like to know what are the invoices created yesterday by so and so user. Write a query. So these all the questions they expect technically. So that's very simple, not much complex. The only thing is we need to do the practice. Okay. So we created supplier successfully in the front end and we are able to see it in the back end. Now, supplier is telling I have business in Pune and India, two branches. Address book. Address book is basically to maintain the supplier addresses, nothing but branches. Let's go for create. One is Pune, another one is Delhi. So country is India, Jansar, Pune, Viman Nagar, city, Pune, state, Maharashtra, address name, Jansar, Pune. And it is for purchasing and making the payments. And click continue button, select your branch name, click apply button. One branch created successfully. Successfully one branch is created here. Let's go for create another branch. Supplier is telling that I have another branch in Delhi also. So two branches we have created. We also call it as a sites. Two sites, two supplier sites created successfully. So whenever we create a site, supplier site, we find the details in this table. AP supplier sites all. AP supplier sites all is the table contains supplier site information. I can see all the sites in details, but I don't want all the sites information. I need only my Gensar supplier sites. I don't want all. Only I required my Gensar supplier sites. So write the where clause, where vendor ID equal to this. If you filter by writing the where clause, if you provide your vendor ID, then you will be able to see the corresponding sites. So here vendor ID is the primary foreign key. AP underscore supplier is the parent table. AP supplier sites all is the child table. And vendor ID is the primary foreign key between these two. And I'm able to see the sites information here. Is clear, everybody? Are you able to understand the information here? Supplier and corresponding supplier sites. Yeah, next. So we got the supplier details, here it is, and we have seen the table. Now client is telling that the supplier is created, fine. I wanted to update this details. I need following information. We have seen supplier tables. Then we have seen the joins here, right? And then we have this programs over here it is, right? So now we are going to write a PLSQL program. So what is this program? Purpose of this program is We would like to get the information from the database tables about all this. We would like to get the database details about all this, total suppliers and all. Okay. We know how to get total suppliers because we know the supplier table, right? We know supplier table. Next, we required total number of invoices. We must know invoice table to get the invoices and total number of invoice amount. Average invoice amount means it's very simple. Total invoice amount divided by total number of invoices. Simple logic we have to apply. That's what simple logic we have to apply. Now I'm going to write a PLSQL program. It's very simple. PLSQL programs writing is simple, not much complex. Only thing is we need to just sit and do the practice. Okay. So let me go for open the notepad. I'm writing a PLSQL program. Create or replace. Now I'm creating PLSQL program. If already program name is there, I'm trying to replace whatever the program name means, whatever the procedure name I'm going to give. If this procedure name is already exists, I'm trying to replace it. So I'm giving procedure name as RTL supplier information. Do we need any input parameters for this program? No, client is telling that I don't want to pass any input parameters. Just I need this details from the backend. So without parameters, you don't need to write anything here. As standard syntax, we'll declare the variables first. First, we are going to declare the variables here. Why we required variables? For storing the value. You will calculate total number of suppliers, but where do you store that result? You will calculate total number of invoices, but where do you store it? We use the variables. So I'm just putting comment here, variables declaration. One variable I am declaring supplier count, number data type, maximum 9 digits. Another one is invoice count. You can give any name XY also, but it's better to have meaningful name when you are declaring the variables. Invoice amount. So I'm using number of 9. So this is what variables we have declared successfully. Variables we have declared successfully here. One variable purpose is this: total number of suppliers, total number of invoices, total invoice amount. Another one we required average amount. Like this, we will go for declare the variables for storing the data. For storing the data, we are going to have the variables here. Okay. I'll write directly in the server here because there some software is there. It's disturbing. Okay. Fine. So we declared the variables. Next. Now we have to write the queries. First query I'm going to write get total suppliers. Simple select statement. Select count star into what is the variable for storing the supplier count? This Which table you have supplier details? AP underscore suppliers. That's it. If you know which table contains the details, then we can easily write the query. Select count star into local variable. So we declared a variable and we are going to store the total number of records. This is supplier details. Next, what you required? I need invoices. I require total number of invoices. Get total invoice details. It's a comment. I'm writing select count star into what is the local variable we declared invoice count from what is the table name AP invoices all. That's it. AP invoices all. Next, I required invoice amount. I required invoice amount. So when you required invoice amount, you don't need to write, one more select statement. By using same select statement, you can get multiple data also. Okay, multiple data. So what we can do is here, comma, sum of invoice amount. Sum of invoice amount into second variable. What is the second variable here? So in a single select statement, you can get total number of invoices as well as you can get the sum of invoice amount. For testing purpose, what you can do, you can query here. You can write the query and test it. Okay, into clauses not required now here. Total number of invoices. 1,45,000 invoices are there. Total invoice amount is this. But it looks like it's more than 9 digits. 4, 5. Yeah, more than 9 digits are there. So you have to mention is more than this. Otherwise, it will throw the error message. Right. We cannot store more than 9 digits. That's why I mentioned 19 digits also it will allow. Width I have increased. Okay. So it's not that single result from the select statement. You can get multiple records, means multiple columns, and you can use multiple variables for storage. So this is to get a single value. This is how you will get multiple values also. It's clear, everybody? Any doubts here so far? We are getting total number of suppliers into local variable. Then we are getting here total number of invoices and total invoice amount into local variable here. Okay, next. I required average invoice amount. How will you find out average invoice amount? Total number of total invoice amount divided by total number of invoices. Simple calculation, right? Average amount equal to average invoice amount equal to total invoice amount is stored here, right? Divided by total number of invoices. Yeah. Now we got total suppliers here. Here total invoice amount. Here total number of invoices. Here invoice amount. Here is the average amount. Right. Now client is asking display all these details in the output. So if you would like to display this information in the output, we use the built-in API. We got stored the value here. Then how will you display to the client? DBMS underscore output dot put underscore line. Okay. Here we'll go for display total suppliers. Standard syntax. Give the variable. Same thing, just copy paste. Total invoices. Total invoice amount. Average invoice amount. We'll be discussing all these things, variables, writing select statements right from the basics. As it is a demo class, I'm just directly writing the program. Generally, this is, we can say that one of the complex program. One of the complex program, we can say that this is. Okay. So if you are able to understand this, then any program you can write. So declare the variables, purpose is storing the value. We written the queries and we got into the variables here. Then this details we are going to have. And we are displaying this information and close the program. What is your program name? This is the name of the program.
Sir,
Please go ahead.
sir, like the DBMS output, these things are for the to get back the output, right?
Yes,
This
if you would like to display the output, this we will be using in PLSQL. Display purpose. We have to show the information to the customer, right?
Yeah, got it.
When they run the program, they want to see the output.
Yeah, got it. Like it will prepare like the one more table for us to in the as output, right? In
Not the
that
table, just a plain text.
plain text. Yeah, okay.
Yes, yes. Okay, now program is ready. Now the program is ready. Let me put it here. Now execute the procedure. We have created the procedure. Now we have to execute. We can use any tool. We can use SQL plus, or we can use Toad. We can use SQL plus, or we can use Toad also. Let me use SQL plus. Connect to database, username, password, and host. Now procedure is compiled, but you got some errors in your program. So I want to see what are those errors. Show error. It is showing line number 1. In the first line itself, you got some error message here. We can open the code again. ED. ED means editor. This keyword is not required. Show error. ED space. Double quoted somewhere we are missing. It is missing. Procedure name be given clearly. Okay. Is. But still it is having some issue. What is the problem?
if we don't have the parameters, procedure parameters, we can remove the parenthesis, right?
Not required actually. Even if we put parameters also, it should work generally. Mhm. It's okay,
So
fine.
the parameters, yeah, we
Yeah.
have to. Yeah.
So now we created, thank you. Yeah. So we created successfully a procedure here. The name of the procedure is this RTL supplier information procedure name. And we can see that here the procedure created successfully. Procedure created successfully over here. Now I want to execute this procedure. I would like to go for execute this procedure. Show set server output on this procedure. Now execute the procedure. So what is the procedure name? This. Now I can see total number of suppliers 435. Total invoices 1,45,508. Total invoice amount is this. Average amount is this 79,387. So we have executed the procedure. We have executed procedure successfully. Okay. So this is a simple process for the compilation as well as for the execution. Now client is asking different logic and different output information. So when you are able to write your SQL queries here, and then when you are able to write your PLSQL logic here and do some output generation, then you can easily write any program in Oracle applications. So we have seen two tables now. One is supplier table, another one is invoices table. Okay. Yeah. Is clear, everybody? Any doubts here? Yeah. Next. Now the same program client is asking run this from the application. I want to run this from the application. It means whatever the procedure you have, this procedure you need to register in application. It's a simple steps. Just three steps are required for registration because client cannot go to, client is an end user. Client don't know what is procedure, how to set the output on, how to run the procedure. He doesn't have, and he is not a software employee, right? We are a developers. Okay, we develop the procedure. If any issues are there, we'll clarify at compilation errors, and then we'll go for execute. Right. But client says that I don't have idea about all this. I'll just log in. I'll just log into the applications and I just run the program. I want the output so that I can use that output for my business point of view. So if clients are looking for that, in that scenario, what we have to do is we need to go ahead with registration. That time we cannot use this dbms underscore output. In the place of dbms underscore output, we have to use fnd file, fnd underscore file dot put underscore line, fnd underscore file dot output. Remaining is comma. This you have to write. dbms underscore output will work in Oracle, but in Oracle applications, small change. We have to use this fnd underscore file dot put underscore line. And you want to generate the output file? Yes, I want to generate the output file. So we have to use this output option. So I'll change this code and go for execute this same program in applications, Oracle applications. Right now, this program we have executed in Oracle. Okay. Now we are going for execute in Oracle applications. Go back to your procedure. If you want to remove this code, you can remove this. Otherwise, you can put comment star. Multiple lines, if you want to comment, you have to use this. If it is single line comment, we can use this symbol. Multiple lines, we want to comment. Comment means that code will not be executed. System will not execute that lines. Okay, so I have commented multiple lines and same details I am trying to write. Now procedure created successfully. Now register this procedure in the application. It's very simple. 3 steps are required. Take the procedure name. You need to go to your admin part, system administrator. Go to system administrator, program, executable. You can give any application name. Is it procedure or a report? It's a procedure, PLSQL. Give the procedure name. Fine. Attach the program for this program. RTL supplier procedure. You can give any short name. You can give any application name, any description. Copy program, attach to your responsibility. Security responsibility. Search your group. Here we will attach our program so that we can run the program. So these are the 3 steps are required. There won't be any logic here. If you do it 4 or 5 times, it will be very easy. First, we have to create executable. Then we have to create concurrent program. Then we have to create a request group. We have to create request group. Now go to SRS window. Submit your process. RTL supplier procedure. So both are same. If it is SQL prompt, you have used this command, execute procedure name. In case of Oracle applications, just select the program name and execute. We submitted the program, but we got error. We got error. Let's see what is the error message. Wrong number of types of arguments in this column. Yes. So when you are registering this procedure, I forgot to add 2 parameters. Actually, we do it this in the main program. That's why error buff out parameter. Another one is rate code out parameter. These 2 are mandatory. Don't worry about that. We will be discussing all this. Right from the basics, we'll be discussing all this one by one. Now program execution completed. Session program status is normal. Normal means success. Normal means success. Now let's see the output. Same output. Whatever you got the output here, the same output you are going to get it here also. Total suppliers, total invoices, amount and everything, same output here also. But generally, clients will always run from here. We are a developers, okay, we'll go to our tools, we execute the program and we'll test it and everything, we'll do that. But when it comes to the client, client says that I'll just log in and go to the application, run the program, I'll click the output button, then I'm supposed to get the output. Here it is. Yeah. So is everybody is clear about this program? Any doubts here, please? So if you are not clear with the SQL and PLSQL, don't worry. We'll be teaching that right from the scratch. But this is how we are supposed to write technical coding. Maximum our project work will be like this only.
Sir, have a doubt. Like once
Yes,
we create the procedure, it will be reusable whenever needed, right?
yes, yes. We can call procedure name wherever we required.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Fine, guys. Let's see tomorrow. Tomorrow we go for another assignment. Tomorrow we see how we can execute the application from the front end, and then we'll go ahead with that. So this also I'll be uploading here. So if you are not clear with SQL, at least if you are able to understand, that's fine. Don't worry. So we'll be discussing SQL and PLSQL one by one here. It is right from the basics. So going forward, when we do the practice, it will be more clear. Okay. Thank you. Let's see you tomorrow.